Hi, today I'm talking about the film pioneer Thomas H. Ince, who died in mysterious circumstances in 1924 at the age of 42. Thomas H. Ince was an American silent movie actor, director, producer, screenwriter, and film pioneer. Thomas Harper Ince was born on the 16th of November 1882 in Newport, Rhode Island, to English immigrants John E. Ince and Emma Ince. Emma's maiden name was Brennan, and it appears she was married before, as she appears in a newspaper article as Mrs. Emma Steed. Anyway, she married John, and they had 3 sons, John Edward Jr., Thomas, and Ralph, and a daughter, Bertha. John worked as an actor and agent. In his obituary, it states he was a comedian as well. Emma and all the children worked as actors in stock companies. Thomas formed a vaudeville company called Thomas H. Ince and his Comedians when he was an adult, but it was unsuccessful. In 1907, Thomas married actress Eleanor Kershaw, who was known as Nell, and they had 3 children, William in 1909, Thomas Jr. in 1912, and Richard in 1915. Thomas found acting work at the Biograph Company, where he met director D.W. Griffith. He worked at Carl Laemmle's independent motion pictures company. He then got the opportunity to direct westerns at Bison Studios in Edendale. The films he liked making the most were westerns and American Civil War dramas. Thomas then formed his own studio. He was a revolutionary in the movie business because he created the first studio that incorporated sound stages, dressing rooms, offices, lunch canteens, and sets with different architectural structures. Everything needed to make a film was in the one place. He also put the producer in charge of a film, whereas before it was the director and cameraman. The studio was nicknamed Inceville. The plot was known as the Triangle Ranch. He linked up with directors Mack Sennett and D.W. Griffith, and they formed the Triangle Motion Picture Company at 10202 West Washington Boulevard, Culver City, California. It became the Ince Triangle Studios. Goldwyn Pictures bought the studios in 1921. Then in 1924 it was changed to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios. It is now the site of Sony Pictures Studios. Stars such as Mary Pickford, Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, Lillian Gish and Douglas Fairbanks Sr. worked at the studio. One of Thomas's big hits was the anti-war movie Civilization in 1916. He produced and directed it. In 1999, it was chosen for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. He wanted to have his own studio again, and so he built Thomas H. Ince Studios, which ran from 1919 until his death in 1924. 2 of his memorable silent movies were Human Wreckage in 1923, starring Dorothy Davenport, and Anna Christie, also in 1923, starring Blanche Sweet, pictured here. Dorothy Davenport was Mrs. Wallace Reid. Wallace Reid was a big silent movie star. Wallace and Thomas were in a car crash together. Wallace was driving. Thomas suffered internal injuries and a broken collarbone. On Saturday the 15th of November 1924, Thomas was due to join actress Marion Davies. Newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst, film star Charlie Chaplin, actress Aileen Pringle, author Eleanor Glynn, and newspaper columnist Luella Parsons and others aboard William's 280 feet or 85 metre long yacht, the USS Oneida. It set off from San Pedro and was heading to San Diego. I discovered a funny story about Aileen Pringle. Novelist Eleanor Glynn picked Aileen to play the lead female role in the movie version of her novel, 3 Weeks. In the 1924 silent movie with the same name, Matinee Idol, Conrad Nagel has a scene where he has to pick Aileen up and carry her to the bedroom. Lip readers seem to think Aileen said to him, "If you drop me, you idiot, I'll break your neck." Though she didn't use the word idiot, she used a word that means a child born out of wedlock, beginning with the letter B. Conrad was a dreamboat, wasn't he? Thomas, however, had to join the party later than expected, as he was closing a business deal and boarded the vessel in San Diego the following day, on the 16th of November. That day the group celebrated his 42nd birthday. The official story of what happened was he suffered a bad case of indigestion after dinner. He drank champagne and ate salted almonds. Both things were forbidden because he was suffering from peptic ulcers. He was so ill that he had to be taken ashore to San Diego. Dr. Daniel Goodman accompanied him. He was a licensed doctor but was non-practicing. He worked as an American screenwriter and was involved in Williams' movie company, Cosmopolitan Pictures. They caught a train to Los Angeles, but Thomas got worse when they were at Del Mar. He was taken off the train and brought to a hotel where a doctor and nurse attended to him. Why wasn't he taken to a hospital? Thomas asked his wife and his own doctor, Dr. Ida Cohen Glasgow, to meet him in Del Mar. There are reports that his eldest son William came along as well. The group then travelled by train to Los Angeles and eventually to his house at 1051 Benedict Canyon Drive, Los Angeles, California. The house was known as Diez Dorados. Thomas died there on the 19th of November. Dr. Ida Cohen Glasgow stated his death was due to heart failure. However, the front page of the Wednesday Morning Los Angeles Times read, "Movie producer shot on Hearst yacht," but those headlines quickly vanished, and newspapers owned by William said that Thomas had become ill at Hearst Castle at San Simeon, which was William's home. So why would it be reported that he became ill at his house and not his yacht? Charlie Chaplin's valet, Toriachi Kono, claimed to have seen Thomas's head bleeding from a bullet wound, hence the rumour spread. The story was that William suspected Charlie Chaplin of having an affair with his mistress, actress Marion Davies, and he shot Thomas, having mistaken him for Charlie. William was known to have a diamond-encrusted gun. Another version is he tried to shoot Charlie and missed, and the bullet struck Thomas by accident. Another story is that he found Marion and Thomas in a compromising position and he deliberately shot Thomas in a jealous rage. However, actress Margaret Livingston was on board as well. She was rumoured to be having an affair with Thomas. The affair between Charlie and Marion did apparently happen, so William was right to be concerned about it. William was obsessed with Marion. He was married with 5 children, but that didn't stop him from pursuing other women. They had met in 1916 when she was performing in the Ziegfeld Follies. She was 19 and he was 53. He had made her into a star by forming Cosmopolitan Pictures to produce Marion Davies movies, and his newspapers gave her glowing reviews. She was in silent movies and later the talkies. District Attorney Chester C. Kempley conducted an inquiry into Thomas's death and concluded that he died of heart failure because of acute indigestion. But he only interviewed one person who was present, Dr. Goodman, who was William's employee. Thomas was cremated on the 21st of November, so 2 days after his death, and no autopsy was carried out. This led to speculation that a crime was being covered up. Apparently Thomas had already discussed with his wife, Nell, that he wanted to be cremated and not buried. Charlie Chaplin's second wife, Lita Gray, said in her autobiography, Wife of the Life of the Party, a memoir, that the general belief was that William shot Thomas, believing he was Charlie. She believed that Charlie married her on the 25th of November 1924 to pacify William, so that means they married 6 days after Thomas's death, although the speed could have been because Lita was pregnant. Luella Parsons was supposed to have witnessed the shooting, and she gained a lifetime contract writing as a columnist for William's Los Angeles Examiner. We don't know if this is true. Maybe she got the contract because she helped sell William's newspapers because people wanted to read her gossip column. Part of the legend is that Nell Ince was given money from William, but Thomas Ince was wealthy and she inherited his studio and money upon his death. Charlie Chaplin and Luella Parsons denied being on the yacht. Luella said she was in New York. In the United States, a prohibition law ran from 1920 until 1933. So in 1924, prohibition was in force, which forbade the production, transportation, importation and sale of alcoholic beverages. Were the people involved trying to distance themselves from the crews because they had drunk illegal alcohol on the yacht? Patty Hearst, William Randolph Hearst's granddaughter, has said that she asked about the rumour and was told by her parents that it wasn't a murder and Thomas died of natural causes. Nancy Ince Probert, who is Thomas Ince's granddaughter, said that her father, Thomas Ince Jr., told her that he saw his father and talked to him when he was brought home before he died. Thomas Ince's studio manager apparently viewed his body and he stated there were no bullet wounds present. Marion Davies, pictured here, stayed with William Randolph Hearst until his death in 1951 at the age of 88. She died in 1961, aged 64. It is thought that Patricia Lake, whose maiden name was Patricia Dorres Van Cleef, was their biological child. She was said to be Marion's niece. Her parents were deemed to be Marion's sister Rose and husband George Van Cleef. Patricia married actor Arthur Lake in 1937 at William's San Simeon estate, and Marion and William both gave her away at the wedding ceremony. Patricia and her husband are interred in Marion Davies's crypt at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Nell Ince sold their Spanish-style mansion to producer Carl Laemmle. It was discovered that there was a secret passageway above the guest bedrooms. Over each bed was a hidden peephole. So Thomas spied on his friends who stayed overnight. He had the house built and so it wasn't the creation of a previous owner. That's creepy, isn't it? The house was demolished in 1951. Thomas's ashes were returned to his family and it is thought that they scattered them at sea. Director D.W. Griffith said, quote, "All you have to do to make Hearst turn white as a ghost is to mention Ince's name. There's plenty wrong there, but Hearst is too big to touch." So what do you think happened? Do you think it was natural causes or do you think something else happened? Leave your comments below and let me know. If you like these videos, please like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.